the video on your way in, and we're going to get started real soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Make sure to like the stream when you come in. And today, we're going to be talking about a story um that happened years ago. And this is a black femicide story. This is part 5 of it. Um, and when I found out about this story when I was watching the Fatal Attraction. Um, and for those who don't know what Fatal Attraction is, it's a show that shows stories about mm, the black women who were unalived by their significant other. And what I'm going to show y'all today is it is a story about Jennifer Johnson. And without further ado, I'm gonna show y'all I'm gonna play y'all the video where she was calling for help. And then I'm gonna play the other one that's going to show what happened. Well, that's going to show you what happened when they found. Well, and then I'm gonna show y'all another video after that. And that's what I'm gonna be doing. So let's see. Here we go.
In November 2008, Jennifer Johnson was kidnapped by her boyfriend Vincent Brown. She managed to call 911 from the trunk of the car, but the call was difficult to hear. No officer investigated the 911 call. She was later found murdered.
911, Mom, I'm in the car right now. I'm trying to put my car and they got me in the car. I can't say I don't know where I'm at. Where are you? I don't know. They got my car and I'm in the car right now. Oh my God, I'm living on it. I don't see anything. I'm inside of a truck. They took my car and got me inside of a truck. And I'm like, I'm a cell phone. In my truck. They're calling out my truck. I'm crying right now. They got my music loud so I can't talk.
Okay, stop screaming because I can't understand you. Okay? Now, okay, are you in the trunk of a vehicle? Okay. Where did they pick you up at?
I'm sorry. I don't know where I'm at.
Where did you start out at? Did you start out somewhere in Plain City?
And that was the audio of Jennifer calling the police, and that happened in 2008, and I'm gonna show you guys another video about the case, and did the police make it in time? Sadly, they didn't. They found her, I think, days later in an abandoned house, and well, I got the video for that one too. Let me go ahead and show y'all the video real quick. I know it is terrible because, and here's the thing, her the man who did it is in this next video is going to show the man that did that. And yep, I agree with you on this too, Miss Lee. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the video about the about what about what happened to the man who took her life in 2011. See, her and well, Jennifer's unaliving happened in 2008. They they caught Vincent Brown, I think, in that same year, and they waited until 2011 to charge him with the unaliving of Jessica. I mean, not Jessica. Dang it. I apologize. They charged him with the unaliving of Jennifer Johnson. And here's the video covering that right now.
Begins tonight in Hillsborough County, where 3 years of waiting is over for a Bay Area family seeking justice. Today, a jury convicted Vincent Brown in the kidnapping and murder of his ex-girlfriend, Jennifer Johnson. Our Carson Chambers was there to witness the strong reaction both inside and outside the courthouse. Carson.
Well, James and her family was in court every day of the trial, and today they say it was all worth it.
Wait, are these your...
Jennifer Johnson's family waited 3 years for this 30 seconds.
The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. The defendant is guilty of kidnapping as charged.
The judge ordered silence when the verdict was read, and there were quiet tears, unspoken prayers, and nods. Yes.
Justice has been served. She could finally go rest in peace, and we could all move on, even though our wounds are never going to close.
There's nothing I can do. She's gone to heaven now. She's in a better place, but she'd have to go like that.
This is the verdict they wanted so badly, though it won't bring Jennifer back. Her family sat through excruciating testimony for weeks, detailing how she died. Graphic photos showed what Brown did to her body, so it wasn't hard to understand why outside the courthouse. Johnson's family didn't hold back.
We are survivors, and we are here, and we did what we had to do for her, and that's for all black women over the world who's ever going through something like that.
Her family says Johnson was leaving Brown when he kidnapped, tortured, raped, and killed her. They won't be silent about it.
He didn't even get what he deserved, because he didn't have to take the life of my daughter.
To many women, they are in abusive relationships. I would like to tell them to get out. It's never too late to get out.
Brown may pay with his life for what he did 3 years ago. He was silent too, and stone-faced when the verdict was read. And we'll be there when jurors return to court tomorrow for the death penalty phase. They will hear from both sides one more time before they make their recommendation to a judge. Now, Johnson leaves behind a 5-year-old daughter, Janice. Her grandmother is raising her. I'm Carson Chambers. Back to you.
Carson, thank you. And ABC Action News is dedicated to taking action against domestic violence. To find information on where you can get help, you can go to our website at abcactionnews.com/DV.
And so, and that's what happened. Vincent Brown is still in a prison, and the sad part is that you see in every one of these stories, in every single one, it's messed up and sad that another person had their life taken because that person wanted to leave the relationship. And in this case, with Jennifer, this right here, it speaks volumes to the violence that women face. It really does. And the thing of it is that she. Now I've seen the full story on on Fatal Attraction. That's on TV1, and it was sad. Vincent Brown was cheating on her with other women. And Jennifer found out about it, and she wanted to leave because it was an abusive relationship, and she went, and I think she went to um she went to break break up with Vincent, you know, and all of a sudden Vincent went on ahead and put Jennifer in the back of her, in the trunk of her car, and then decided to speed off into an abandoned house and did what he did to her. Not only that, but then he had he had people burn her house down. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, he had her house burned down, and that was messed up too. And you know the mi- and we already know how the black men who wants to question the victim. Oh, what did she do? This and all that. All that proves is just one thing. Most black men who are narcissistic, they don't care about black women like they say they do. They really don't. Because laughing at someone else's pain is just messed up. But yeah. Um what happened to Jennifer Johnson was messed up, and it was sad. It really was. Um I have the link in the chat. If anyone wants to come up and speak their mind about this, they can. Um, but yeah, what happened is it's just messed up and sad, and I'm just going to say it. He shouldn't have taken her life. He should have. Here's what should have happened. She didn't want him. He should have accepted that, but no. Like many narcissistic men who wants to control the woman, all of a sudden he feel like if he can't have her, no one else can. And that is really a sad way to think. Um, hey, how you doing, Betterment? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm not gonna be on here long. It's pretty sad what happened to this woman. Rest in peace to her. She didn't deserve any of that. Um, my whole thoughts on her murder is that what is going through men's mind today that they feel entitled to a woman for attention, to her body, everything else. Why? And on top of that, why is just saying hi or getting a compliment a sign of a woman hitting on you? That is not the case. Giving a compliment is just being nice. It's not to hit on you. It's not to draw attention. They're just words, and these guys just take it literally. And when a woman try to tell them that, they want to get really angry to the point that they just murdered this poor woman. This guy, it seems to me that these guys have nothing to lose. And these are the most dangerous men that are walking this planet Earth. And this is the men that women should be avoiding at all times. When a man approaches you, do not say anything to them. Just walk away. Especially when you're not interested in talking to them. Because these guys, they have intentions. They feel like, okay, if I'm going to approach this woman, and if this woman rejects me, I'm going to take her off this earth. This is what these guys are doing. This is what these red pill people are saying to these guys. And it's probably not, on YouTube, but they're having a private conversation somewhere else saying this. And women, we have to be very aware of what's going on right now, because these men are becoming dangerous. So here's what I suggest. Get pepper spray, get bear spray, whatever you have to do to protect yourself from these guys that will put your hands on you, or if you feel threatened. This is the type of a bear spray and pepper spray will protect you just in case a man put his hands on you. Because it has gone too far where these men feel comfortable putting their hands on a woman. And that's not okay. So my whole thing is, I hope he gets life in prison. I hope he gets tortured by the prisoners in those prisons, because let me tell you something, the guys in those prisons don't play, because that could have been their cousins, that could have been their sister, that could have been their auntie, their mom, anything. And these guys do not take that lightly in prison. So if these guys think they're going to be off the hook, they rather be in prison when they murdered a woman, they're going to get a rude awakening, because it's not what they're going to think. It's not what they're going to think.
Yeah, I agree. Welcome, Jose. How you doing?
Hey, Jose. Hey, Miss Ali.
Well, good afternoon, Alexander. Good afternoon, Betterman. First of all, thank you for allowing me on the panel. I'm just going to give you my two thoughts, my 2 cents for whatever it's worth. These males that attack women, in my definition, they're not men. Let me make it perfectly clear. They are not men. A real man will not try to harm anyone, whether it be male or female. Okay. And, unfortunately, there are those males that do know how to prey on certain women, basically women who they don't have a healthy self-esteem, or they have other issues. And unfortunately, some of these males, because I'm sorry, I refuse to call them men, are like sharks. And then these women are basically, they go after them for prey. Okay. If found guilty, they deserve to get serve every single day in prison, and then deal with the consequences of their actions. And the problem is, it makes it bad for us males who do treat women well, because unfortunately, what happens is they go through a lot of trauma, and they're going to automatically assume that all males are the same. And unfortunately, that happens because of some males, and again, I refuse to call these people men, don't know how to properly treat a woman.
Here's my take on it, because I just saw a video earlier before this live stream, and there was a man cussing this woman out for rejecting him. Sorry, excuse me. For rejecting him because she didn't want to go out with him. Right now, for what I saw, he was calling her B's, H's, anything but the name of God for no reason. And she was just being polite, going into the supermarket, holding the door for him, and which she should have never done because he's a man, he could hold his own door. And he thinks that holding the door for her was an invitation of her flirting. And men get this so confused. Well, I wouldn't say men, I would say boys. Boys get this so confused. And he just went off on her. And I thought he was going to attack her to the point, because he just kept going and going and going and going. And she was trying to get out of the situation. And once she was like in a safe place, like her car, she started to cry because of what he did. And she was like traumatized to the point where she has to realize how dangerous the situation was. And to me, like guys like that, it's like I said before, have pepper spray, because you may never know when a guy is going to put their hands on you. And be careful also when you are doing kind things to men, because they're going to take it as doing something else. So that's my take on that.
And in this case right here, Jennifer Johnson was breaking up with Vincent Brown, and like you said, like I said, he thought that if he couldn't have her, no one can. So that's why he did the things that he did. And when I showed those videos, I showed her calling from help when she was in the trunk of her car because Vincent put her there. And sadly, days later, they found her in an abandoned house. She didn't have her shirt on, and you know, but she died in that abandoned house, and then it turns out that Vincent Brown did what he did that because he didn't want to lose her and stuff like that. But again, Vincent was cheating on her and all of that. Jennifer wanted to escape the relationship because and this is the problem with modern black men. Most of them, when you know they feel like someone is not obeying them, they feel like they have to punish them. And this is one of the main reasons why I say that black women should at least, open up their options and see what's out there. But make sure to vet that person. Vincent Brown, he was a I would say he was the wolf in sheep's clothing. He he not only tricked Jennifer, but he tricked her family as well. And I, I'm I'm sorry, but I'm not going to stick up for you know for the brotherhood. And and by the way, the brotherhood is is, dare I may say, a part of the manosphere as well. And this is one of the main reasons why I say that women have to avoid red pill men in general. Because think about how many of them think like Vincent Brown. How many of them think like that?
Too many. Way too many, because these men are listening to these podcast channels. And what we hear on YouTube is not what they're saying in private. Okay? Because for a man to go off and to murder his ex because she wants to leave him, and him not moving on is what got him in jail for the first place. Because if you really didn't want to lose her, you should have never cheated. Period. You should have never done what you done in order for her to leave. And I'm hearing too many cases of that where men are murdering their wives and their girlfriends, and it's happening too often. And instead of them just moving on, doing what they want to do, and just have sex with different types of women, they rather murder their girlfriend because they don't want her to leave. And you know that these men that do this don't have options with other women. They don't have other chance. And when they do get the woman, they treat her wrong. So my thing is, do not get into a relationship right away. Get to know the man who he truly is. Talk to his family about what kind of person he is before committing to this man, because men might act a different way. They could treat you well, treat you nice, and doing all this stuff, treating you like a queen, until they get you trapped into that relationship and they become a different person. So my whole thing is that just wait until you truly see who he is, and and when you see the first sign of abuse, run. Do not stay in that relationship. Run, get out of there.
If I can just chime in, um, first of all, what I think people need to properly vet, the person they wish to pursue, whether it be male or female, because you're not going to know the person at the first glance. You should know that person. You should study that person. You should pay very close attention. And if you see any red flags, that's a warning. Also, you need to be mindful, um, as having realistic expectations of who to pursue when it comes to relationship. I'm going to state myself for an example because I think it's to make it perfectly clear. I'm in my 60s. Okay, I have no business pursuing someone that's in their 20s or 30s and even like early 40s. I'm just going to keep it real. I need to be realistic. I need to properly vet the person, see see if we're a good fit together. Okay, and a lot of these people, they need to undergo therapy because they have unresolved issues. And what they do is, instead of getting therapy, what they do is they bring in the emotional trauma into a new relationship, which means it creates more emotional trauma. Okay. And the danger with these males is that the women who are victims could easily assume all men are the same. And no, there are men and then there are males. A man, a true man in a sense, will have proper respect for a woman, will respect her boundaries. And if the woman is not interested in the man, he will go his separate ways. And you know what? This bid them a good day. Unfortunately, you have certain males that are truly self-entitled, and their poor fragile egos get frayed because um, a woman that they're pursuing is not interested. Maybe you need to sit down and reflect as far as why women are not interested in you. Maybe there's something about you that maybe scared these women off, and maybe some of you males need to undergo therapy. That's my thoughts.
Hey, Alexander, thank you for having me up. I have to go. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome anytime. And Jose, I definitely agree with you wholeheartedly. And and I'm going to say this. This is because what happened to Jennifer was really messed up. It really is because all she wanted all she wanted to do was to break up with him and not be in a relationship where she's the one that has to, you know, where she's the one that has to prove herself time and time again. And when I was watching her story, I heard that Vincent Brown had other women besides Jennifer, and that right there is just messed up. It really is.
Yeah, the problem is, if you are a male and you have to have more than one woman to pursue your affections and what have you, or to us engage in adult activity, that does not speak well about you. Okay, that just shows that there's some sort of emptiness that you think that can only be filled with sex. Okay, and unfortunately, quite a few of these males have untreated trauma, and that's why they act the way they do. And this individual that deleted this poor woman, I mean, obviously he has some sort of demon influence that led her to take another person's life. I mean, if you're going to cheat, I mean, one thing people bear in mind, she could just as easily cheat. She could have just cheated on him. She decided, you know what? I don't want to deal with this individual that's not going to be faithful. And it's only appropriate because when you engage in intercourse with more than one person, you don't know what you're dealing with. Okay. First of all, there is the risk of STDs. There's the risk for HIV if you decide to engage without any sort of protection. There's also unwanted pregnancies. Okay. Also, you're exposing yourself to demonic influences when you are intimate with multiple women. And what you're doing is you're bringing those influences to the woman that you claim that you love. And I heard so many stories about women that was exposed to STDs and HIV because unfortunately the male was unfaithful.
Yeah, I heard a lot of those stories too, and and you have black men out there that that is, you know, blaming the victim, saying, "Oh, what did she do? This and that and the third." It's like at this point, and I'm just going to say this: how can any woman trust a man who questions what the what did the victim do to make him, unalive her and stuff like that? And in my opinion, it really makes me question if did the and and this is why I say that I would not be with a black woman who calls a black man king, because the moment that happens, is the moment you have you have black men out here who think they can get away with stuff only because, oh, I'm a man, I can do this, or oh, I'm a king. You supposed to do this for me, this and that and the third. I'm starting to think calling black men kings was the worst idea ever, because time and time again, and I know other races do it, but time and time again, there are black men on the news that does this. And and when it and Jose, when I saw this story about Jennifer, I'm not gonna lie to you, I cried because that shouldn't have happened to her. And again, this is just, again, like you said, the men out here, they're not men. They're little boys stuck in a grown man's body. To me, I believe that's the truth.
Yeah. But one thing we have to bear in mind, there are good and bad in every community. First of all, I just want to offer my condolences to the family of Jennifer Johnson, and I do pray that they receive healing regarding their loss, because it's to lose a loved one is a terrible thing. Okay, and also to the family of this male um, that did this terrible thing. But the fact of the matter is this: there are a lot of hurt people out there, and unfortunately, hurt people, because there's a lot of people that have untreated trauma, and unfortunately, when people have untreated trauma, they are able to do just about anything. Now, I don't have a problem with women dating outside of their respective ethnic groups. What I will say, however, if you're going to do that, try to learn something about their culture. Okay, just like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say a black woman decides to date a Latino male. Fine, okay. If they have similar values, fine. But just as she needs to learn something about Latino culture, the Latino male needs to learn about the African American culture, because while there are things in our cultures that are similar, there are things that are different. And that way it can lead to a lot of mutual respecting regarding our respective cultures. Um, there's no need to trash the opposite gender of our groups. I think we need to hold individuals accountable when they do their misdeeds. Okay. But I would submit to any woman that's thinking that dating outside, that's fine. Just learn about his culture and teach him about your culture. Because if you're able to do that, I mean, both of you are, be properly educated, and you'll have a deeper appreciation regarding each other's culture.
But I agree, and here's the other thing that I've been hearing recently. I've been hearing, black women, watch out for the non-black man, because he's going don't date out, because they are going to unalive you. Mm. The white man is, or the white, or the white, or the Asian, or the Hispanic man is the one that's unaliving you. You see how black men, who have a mindset that, they control who black women date sounds. Do you? Do you? I mean, it's like, it's confusing, and it's messed up at the same time. It's like black men would blame everyone else but themselves, and it makes it to tell you the truth, it makes all black men look bad. People don't, they do not want to admit it, but it does.
See, the problem is you have people who are not willing to take accountability for their actions. Okay. Their ego is afraid because a woman does not accept their advances. Again, maybe you need to take a look and see the reason why. Maybe your approach is not appropriate. Maybe you don't have proper grooming. Maybe you don't have proper etiquette. Maybe you're not being realistic regarding the type of female that you wish to pursue. Like I say, and again, I have to speak about myself because I'm an example. As a male in my 60s, I'm not going to pursue someone that's 30 something, 20 something. I'm not even going to pursue someone in their 40s. I mean, realistically, I'm going to pursue someone closer to my age. Okay, that's the reality. Now, if there is a lady like in their 30s, and if they don't have an issue, the fact that I'm 63 and the fact of the matter is she finds some things about me that are appealing, that's fine. But I'm not going to purposely try to woo a woman in her 30s, 20s, and not even her 40s because you have to be realistic. Okay. Unfortunately, a lot of these males, they're not realistic regarding who they can pursue. They lack the ability to take accountability for their actions, and they're not able to sit down and reflect. Well, maybe there's something about me that's making these women fear me.
And you know, my father always says this. He says it seems like black men can't keep themselves out of trouble, and it's like every time, you know, yeah, every time I see stories like the one I'm talking about right now, I can't help but to say that my father is right because because like Vincent Brown could have just accepted that Jennifer didn't want to be with him, and instead he was willing to take her life, and that and that to me is one of the main reasons why black women feel the way they feel about black men. This is not hating on black men, it's telling truth about the modern day black man's psyche. Mm, and sure, are there black men who don't do this and who don't have hatred for black women? Yes, but the majority of them do, and they have hatred to the point of unaliving them. Most of them do.
I go back to my original premise. A lot of these males have issues that they have to resolve instead of trying to pursue someone of the opposite sex. What they need to do is undergo therapy and dealing with what other demons that are molesting them. What are those hurts? Okay, because look, for a person to be healthy, They need to be healthy physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So to be a completely healthy person, you must be healthy in all four aspects. If you're not healthy in one, it's going to affect the other three in some way. Now people say, "Oh, I'm reading too much," but no. I mean, if you take a look and you see people in general, and if you are able to observe, you can see the people who get very agitated easily, who get violent very easily, get pushy very easily. Is that they have trauma that was never been resolved. And before you pursue a relationship, you need to be healthy in all four aspects: physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. If you're not healthy in one, it's going to affect the three. Unfortunately, this male was not healthy, at least in one aspect, maybe two, three, or four. Because for that person to take her life simply to stop her from dating someone else, um, that's us crying out a need for deliverance.
Yeah, I agree. You know, and also another thing too is the male ego. The male ego is also a problem too. And and like Diamond Princess said, when she sees on YouTube, she sees, you know, red, sees men spewing red pill talking points. And if she sees that the male ego is is a big problem and we see it, that then the question is, in my opinion, it's not the woman's fault that, you know, the man the man can't put his ego aside. It's the man's fault that he can't put his ego aside. Because again, if the man that did this to Jennifer Johnson, if he was able to do this, then who's to say a red pill man won't do the same thing? Who's to who's to say that they won't?
Okay. Okay. This is gonna sound like a broken record, but facts are facts. A lot of these males, I mean, let's keep it real. They never learn how to properly address a woman. Okay, a woman is not a recreation center for you to get your sexual gratification. She is a human being made in the image of God, and unfortunately, males look at females as something purely sexual. Okay, and they cannot grasp the concept that she's an individual human being. And as far as controlling, If you have to try to physically control someone, you have lost control from the get go. And sometimes what these people will do is they will quote scripture, and they love to talk about the part when it says in Ephesians, "Women be submissive to your husbands," but yet they neglect the other part that says, "Husband loves your wives." Just like Christ loved the church and gave his life for the church. Okay? If I love the woman I'm with, I'm not going to treat her as a youth and recreational center. I'm not going to treat her as an object of my lust. I'm going to treat her as a human being. I'm going to be aware of her concerns, her issues, her worries, and I'm there to make sure that she is safe. Okay. Unfortunately, some of these males are not able to do that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you cold heartedly. And yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, just seeing just seeing her story come on Fatal Attraction. It 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 messed with my mind, you know, and this is this is this is this is this is really sad they because here's the thing we've been hearing the whole time. There are no good black women, but there are good black women out there. They just do not want to deal with the toxicity that a black man will bring her. And in the case of Jessica Johnson, in her case, she she was one of the good ones. But again, her her abusive boyfriend who cheated on her said that she has to compete with the other baby mamas. He and when she said no, that was when he did what he did to her. And you know, I'm going to say I'm about sick and tired of all the excuses that that you know that black that the red pill black men have. First is that they can't find a good black woman, and then it's they like thugs, this and that and the third. But when one of them was on the line by a man who claims to be good, but is a wolf in sheep's clothing, then they go ahead and ask stupid questions like, oh, what did she do? This and that and the third. this is why I agree with you, Jose, when you say that they are not male. They are boys. And I do agree that most black men, yeah, they have, they have issues, but most importantly, their egos are also the problem because they can't seem to put their egos aside and find human decency in another person. And, you know, there's going to be people who will see this as black male hate speech, but I'm going to say it again. Truth so it's like truth to them is hate speech towards them. And I'm going to say this. I'm 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 about done with all this with all this, with all these black men blaming black women. I'm tired of it. And a couple of months from now, I will be also talking about how black male worship made the black man's ego get so out of control to the point that there is a black femicide. And I don't care if Shay Sade gets mad at it, she can get mad all she wants. To me, she's just another pick me. We got to put an end to to this black male worship. We have to. Matter of fact, we have to put an end to any male worship, but mostly black male worship. It has to happen. It has to. And like I said, if if they have a problem with it, why don't they talk to the families of black women that have lost their life? But we all know they ain't going to do that. We all know they ain't going to do that because they like to live in their own little world. And as a black man, I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. Real talk. I'm gonna go ahead and let you speak, Jose.
Well, first of all, not all black men are the same. But the thing is this, the black men who are acting responsible, who are showing proper respect for black women, need to speak up and need to put these males in check, and and let them know, hey, this is not the proper way to treat anyone, whether it be male or female. Okay. Um, it is a serious issue because unfortunately, as long as they are males who treat women just as sex objects or as objects of lust, this problem is going to continue. And this is a problem that exists and also exists in the in the Latino community as well. But the black men who are being responsible, who know how to treat women properly, need to speak up and need to put these males in check and need to let them know that this is not cool. Okay. And to these, and again, I'm going to say males because in my opinion they're not men. Get yourself therapy, get a therapist, heal from whatever trauma that caused you to think that way, because if not, this problem is going to continue. And unfortunately, we're going to hear more stories about black women being deleted by their ex partner because they just didn't know how to let go.
I hear you loud and clear. And there are black women that are talking about this. And Prism is one of them that talks about this. And 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 there are others who talks about this as well. And the sad part, I'm going to say the the sad part about this is you will have black women also who would, you know, who um who will blame the victim, but you have black women who will speak on the behalf of, the black women who lost their lives, or the black women um who are being abused or being bullied. And I would like to see more black women speak out for black women than against them, because let's be for real, Jose. The women who worships black men, they are a problem too, because here's the thing. I'm on YouTube and I'm seeing black men who truly cares about, about black women, discuss black femicide. And they too get hated on by the black men that you and I are talking about, the ones who can't put their egos aside, and the ones who think women should bow to them and everything. That's sad. That is messed up and sad. And think about what have what if Jennifer Johnson survived that and she came out and told her story? You will have those same black men who want to blame the victim, to say, what did she do, and all that stuff. And this is one of the main reasons why I think black male worship should end. You know, because it's not making the rest of us who care about black women look good if they keep worshiping us and keep excusing our behaviors. And Prism, I was I was watching a episode of Fatal Attraction. That's how I heard the story. That's how I heard about the story of Jennifer Johnson. But yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead, Jose.
Okay. I have a problem with the worship of either gender, whether it be male or female. Okay. Now, for the sake of those who that state that I quoted scripture, it's a good reason because I identify myself as a Christian. Okay. No gender should be worshipped. Individuals should be treated with respect. And if you cannot treat anyone with respect, then you're the one that has the problem. Blaming the victim is never appropriate. Okay, first of all, she didn't do anything, no, that deserved her being deleted. She made a choice. Her choice was to end the relationship with a male that was not being faithful. And she's well within her right to do so. Unfortunately, this dude, his ego was too frayed, his manhood was too challenged to accept the fact that she made a decision on her own to end a relationship of which he violated by having intercourse with other women. So really, the only one that he should blame is in himself. If you are not going to be faithful to the person that you wish to pursue or you claim that you love, why should she expect to stay with you? Why? Okay, that's something that I don't understand. And for a woman that stays in that type of relationship or a male that stays in type of that relationship, there are issues involved. Okay, so it's never good to blame the victim. Okay, and it's just better not to say anything because if you're not going to take the time to learn the dynamics, take the time to learn what happened, then don't say anything at all.
I most definitely agree with that. You know, I most definitely agree. And again, like I said, when it comes to stories like this, it really makes me wonder. Um, why would why would a man, you know, put his won't put his ego to the side, mm, to you know feel pain for someone else. And you know what? In that video, and I know it didn't. And I've shown the second video. I know it didn't show it, but in that video, but in that courtroom on that day, he said, This is the words of Vincent Brown. He said, What's done is done. That to me says that he doesn't have any humanity in him. That's exactly what it says to me.
I would not like to be in his shoes as he's dealing with his prison sentence because we all know that when it comes to offenses, any offense against women, children, the elderly, or the disabled, those who perpetrate crimes against these people, it's not going to end well. Okay? Because the inmates are going to execute their form of justice. Now, I'm not going to say what they did is going to be right, but that's the consequences. Okay, what you sow, what you reap. When you decide to hurt or delete women, children, um, the elderly, or the disabled, or harm them in any way, shape, or form, you're going to have to deal with the consequences sooner or later. And part of those consequences is the fact that you're going to be dealing with inmates who are not going to look too kindly on people who were found guilty of such activities. Now, they might try to hide their criminal history, but they know who's who. So I would not want to be in this dude's shoes for all the money in the world.
Uh, I totally agree with you. And yeah, this is truly messed up. And it's just that. It's just that. It really is. And and yeah, it this is just really messed up. It oh my god, when I'm starting to think all of the horror that Jennifer went through and everything else. That, and the fact that he did that to her, it it's just this story is just that all around, you know. But of course, the black men who are narcissistic or in their egos are going to say what they want about her and everything else, which proves that once again black women are right. Is they are right about most black men. Again, because I believe there's only a few of us that are speaking on black femicide and taking this seriously and putting blame on the perpetrator and not the victim.
Well, look, let me tell you again. And after this, I'm gonna drop down. Um, the responsible black men need to speak up on this and put these males in check. And these males need to deal with whatever demons they have to deal with. They need to get therapy to address the drama, because if they don't, if left unchecked, we're going to have more stories than these. And I'm afraid we are going to hear more stories about black women be deleted because there are some males whose ego is so frayed that they cannot deal with the fact that the woman that they claim that they love doesn't want to have anything to do with them. And they need, and for those those that are lashing out with women because they're rejecting their advances, they need to sit down and take a look at themselves. Um, why are they being rejected? Maybe it's something about their approach that scares these women. No. Or maybe they're just being crude, or simply they don't know how to speak um, with a woman. Do I have your permission to share the stream on my community wall?
Yeah, you can share it.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Alexander, for allowing me to opine regarding this issue. And again, my thoughts and prayers go out to Jennifer Johnson's family. I pray that they receive healing of them, if their scars and things of that nature. And remember, there is a little girl that's has that's going to go through life without her mother, because some cannot deal with rejection. And with that being said, thank you very much, and have a good weekend.
All right, you too, Jose.
Thank you.
I would like to thank everyone for coming to the live stream. Um, there was points that were made, and again again, for those who are just tuning in, I'm gonna play the videos again to you know to um catch y'all up to speed with what today's conversation was about.
In November 2008, Jennifer Johnson was kidnapped by her boyfriend Vincent Brown. She managed to call 911 from the trunk of the car, but the call was difficult to hear. No officer investigated the 911 call. She was later found murdered.
911, Mom, I'm in the car right now. Trying to put my car and they got me in the car. I can't say I don't know where I'm at. Where are you? I don't know. They got my car and I'm in the car right now. Oh my God, I'm living on it. I can't. What's your name? What do you see? I don't see anything. I'm inside of a truck. They took my car and got me inside of a truck. And I got my car now. You see that? Back of a truck? In my truck. In the corner of my truck. I'm crying right now. They got my music loud so I can't talk. Okay, stop screaming because I can't understand you. Okay? Now, okay, are you in the trunk of a vehicle? Okay. Where did they pick you up at? I'm sorry, I don't know where I'm at. Where did you start out at? Did you start out somewhere in Plain City?
That was one of them, and here's a second one. Hang on. And here's the second one right here. Make sure I got everything fit. Okay. Here we go.
County, where 3 years of waiting is over for a Bay Area family seeking justice. Today, a jury convicted Vincent Brown in the kidnapping and murder of his ex-girlfriend, Jennifer Johnson. Our Carson Chambers was there to witness the strong reaction both inside and outside the courthouse. Carson?
Well, James and her family was in court every day of the trial, and today they say it was all worth it. Jennifer Johnson's family waited 3 years for this 30 seconds.
The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. The defendant is guilty of kidnapping as charged.
The judge ordered silence when the verdict was read, and there were quiet tears, unspoken prayers, and nods. Yes.
Justice has been served. She could finally go rest in peace, and we could all move on, even though our wounds are never going to close.
It's nothing I can do. She's gone to heaven now. She's in a better place, but she didn't have to go like that.
This is the verdict they wanted so badly, though it won't bring Jennifer back. Her family sat through excruciating testimony for weeks, detailing how she died. Graphic photos showed what Brown did to her body, so it wasn't hard to understand why outside the courthouse. Johnson's family didn't hold back.
We are survivors, and we are here, and we did what we had to do for her, and that's for all battered women over the world who's ever going through something like that. Get out.
Her family says Johnson was leaving Brown when he kidnapped, tortured, raped, and killed her. They won't be silent about it.
He needed to get what he deserved, because he didn't have to take the life of my daughter.
To many women, they are in abusive relationships. I would like to tell them to get out. It's never too late to get out.
Brown may pay with his life for what he did 3 years ago. He was silent too, and stone-faced when the verdict was read. And we'll be there when jurors return to court tomorrow for the death penalty phase. They will hear from both sides one more time before they make their recommendation to a judge. Now, Johnson leaves behind a 5-year-old daughter, Janice. Her grandmother is raising her. I'm Carson Chambers. Back to you.
Carson, thank you. And ABC Action News is dedicated to taking action against domestic violence. To find information on where you can get help, you can go to our website at abcactionnews.com/DV.
And again, that was the first video you saw, that Jennifer Johnson was murdered, was unalived in November of 2008. And 3 years later, that's 2011, Vincent Brown was convicted of her unaliving. And it's just messed up and wrong. And she didn't deserve to have her life taken. She really didn't. And again, we gotta call out the black man's ego. We have to, because if we don't, we're going to have more stories of black women being unalived. And like I said during this podcast tonight, we have black women who are, supporters of the manosphere that is not going to do that. So on my channel, I'm going to be calling out not only the black men who talks down on black women and say all these things, but I will be calling out the black the black women who supports the black manosphere and likes to victim blame. So I will be calling them out. That will be, I think in August, that's when the call out of the pygmies will begin. Mhm. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for coming to the live stream. Make sure to like, comment, share this live stream to anyone who will listen. And also, if you have a daughter or a niece or auntie or grandma, or if you if you want to show this live stream to your mother, you can. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel. And make sure you're notified whenever I go live. RIP to Jennifer Johnson and to Vincent Brown. I hope you suffer for the rest of your life in prison. And with that, I want to bid everyone a good night, and I will see y'all again on the 24th of this month. Love, peace, and happiness. Make sure to call your loved ones and check up on them. And with that, this is Alexander signing off. Love, peace, and happiness. And until next time, peace.